had like obsessions with dressing up as like animals or something weird.
That is a very popular thought.
People who like dress up in costumes to like have sex with each other. Yeah, they dress up in like animal costumes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That it's like a bunch of people in animal costumes having sex with each other.
I can tell you that I've never personally experienced,
not firsthand.
I have no first-hand experience with furries, but I don't think I'd be close to the idea.
He had a tail, he had a snout. What do you think about that?
Is this a joke?
I think that we're on candid camera.
I think we are too.
It is not a joke.
Really?
We've met people. We met one in
The
costume.
people that are real into the Star Trek thing.
Kind of. They have like conventions like every year in Atlanta.
Get
like,
out.
There's like hundreds of people dressed up in costumes.
Okay,
and
I'm going to get really strange with you.
Oh,
I
yes.
saw an episode on CSI
Here it is.
where these people dressed up for like sexual gratification in the fur.
Right now, there is a lot of misunderstanding. There is a lot of denial going on. There is a lot of people making things up. They're, news stations, they're looking for the juicy bits. It's at this point, if you want to figure out what furry is from a media perspective, you're going to get very, very skewed results. As a result, furries tend to, the best way to approach it for the longest time was to simply, deny it, to simply try to get around it, because all that the news stations, all that the magazines wanted were the juicy bits. They didn't care about the truth, so why try to explain it to them? All they're going to do is give sound bites of what someone's saying, make it sound interesting, as opposed to truthful. There are some individuals like myself, my husky fursona, it's basically me, but just aesthetically different, just in a different body. It's me. It's all of my traits, all of my personality, my interests, just in a different body. Some people, it's their spirit guide, for instance. They believe it's a sort of guide for them. Other people may even believe that it's deeper than that. That they are the animal. That they're maybe a wolf spirit trapped in a human body. They have that feeling. And then others, it's just a character. For some people, they just have characters. They may not have their own personal persona, but they have these characters, and they'll play different personalities depending on which character they are, or even which character they put on as a fursuit. So it just depends on the person, what they feel their connection is to their animal, if any at all.
What would be my persona?
What would you be your
That's an awesome question.
Didn't we have a competition?
I think I'd be a wolf.
No.
I would be a wolf?
No.
Not a chance. Why am I not a wolf?
You're not a wolf.
I'm not a wolf.
This is offensive. I am
Not
a wolf.
a chimpanzee.
You may like the company
He's like a flying squirrel.
Or a chimpanzee.
Flying
Meerkat.
squirrel.
Meerkat?
It was, what led me there was, in a sense, a lack of judgment. Coming up in a very, very, very conservative Baptist household, judgment was, all around me. Just anything that was slightly out of the norm, and I was a bad person for it, basically. So I saw this as, a lot of people that, well, for one, I had a love of animals, which this obviously, is big on, but people weren't being judgmental towards each other. They were being extremely friendly towards each other. You could really be whoever you wanted to, and nobody's going to say, oh, you're weird, go away. No one's going to do that. And even at the conventions, something that I remember one time, a hotel attendant was talking to one of the congoers at FWA, Furry Week in Atlanta. And he was like, man, so many of these people are, they must have known each other for years. And the congoer responded, most of these people just met yesterday. And it's because of the open attitude that we have that we can start a conversation with someone we bump into, and within an hour, I mean, you can be really close. Not like years-long close friends, but you can be comfortable around a person. You can be very comfortable. You don't have to be formal, was one thing that drew me to it. The informality. There's no need for like tradition or ways of doing things, aside from, normal interaction with other people. Of course, you can't just, someone can't just walk up to another person and be like, hey, will you have sex with me? It's not that open of a community. There's still rules, regular human interaction rules to go by. But it's much more likely that someone would have that kind of encounter with someone that they just met because they're not as afraid of each other. They're not afraid of being friendly towards each other. Furries do produce a lot of content, whether it be in the form of, mostly artwork. You'll see a lot of stories. You'll see obviously costuming, and you get a good representation of what kind of content furries create when you go to a convention. You'll see, again, artists are very popular there. There's lots of artwork. You'll see costumes. People had to make those, put those together. You'll see, different performances that they make, different things vendors are trying to sell. Just individuals will make their own, maybe jewelry, or maybe they'll stylize a bag or something. But it's usually individuals, and almost no companies that I'm aware of that participate in what content gets released. In terms of social networking, there is a lot of that, even with websites like Furfinity or SoFurry, which deal mostly in the artwork and the stories. You'll have people which will use that as a means of communicating with each other.
Well, I think that there's definitely, like, some things that characterize artistic movements are certain styles that they use, and that kind of brings them together as a group. So they definitely have a stylistic thing going on with what they're drawing that definitely unifies them. And it could also be a way of communicating by, if you're working in the same style or the same medium, you can react to what the other person has drawn. I don't think it's strange. I don't think people should act on, like, putting their desires on real animals, but I mean, whatever they're into, and if it's not harmful to anyone, then...
I mean, like, the concept of furries, I guess, makes me uncomfortable, but, like, I guess, like, as long as you're not hurting anyone, do whatever you want.
It's not simply black and white. It's not you're either a furry or you're not. The terms that we like to use are, like, for someone that's full-on furry, they're a full lifestyler. It means that they incorporate it as a lifestyle, as an interest, similar to somebody that, I want to use music as an example, someone that's like really, really into rock. They're a diehard rock fan. That's their lifestyle. And you can have varying degrees of how much people enjoy rock music, to the person that, every once in a while I'll listen to it, to the person that has to be at every single concert. It's the same thing with furries. You can have people that they want to be part of it, they want to go to the events, they want to wear the fursuits. You have some people which they're able to draw, but they're not really furries. They'll draw the artwork and they'll sell and they'll make money off of it, but you may never see them at a convention. You have people which they like the artwork, but they'll never wear a fursuit, and you'll never catch them at a convention. You have people which are, furry friendly. They're not furries, but they enjoy being around the people, so they'll go to the events, but they don't really have a persona of their own. Usually, eventually, they get kind of, somebody deems a certain persona for them, and they just kind of stick with it, but it's not personal to them. I do not have a fursuit. A majority of furries do not, simply because they are rather expensive, and because they don't come from companies. These are individual people, individual furries, or furry-friendly people that have taken it upon themselves to make the suits. But of course, since they dedicate almost all of their time to this as their main job, they have to charge a bit, extra bit of money for that. Plus the expense of the materials. It can range anywhere from a really cheap partial fursuit, which would just be the head, the all four paws, the tail, maybe $500 if you're lucky. But the really, really extravagant ones, the ones that have like the full body suit where they're double stitched, they're really, really tough, made to endure, you can be looking to spend easily over $1,000, maybe $2,000 for one.
Well, really, the reason why I chose wolf dragon is, for me, wolves are kind of like loners. So for me, I'm pretty much a loner. I like to be isolated, but also they also travel in packs. So if I'm comfortable with a group, I'm usually with them a lot. So as for the dragon part, like for me, I kind of consider myself mysterious, and dragons are mythological creatures. So pretty much the mystery behind the whole dragon thing is me. So I just joined the Georgia Furs, so I'm still getting to know them.
Right.
And for me, they're a very good group. So, and there's good support. The whole furry fandom is a great support system. I just became a furry about 3 months ago, and like as me being a loner, it's really nice to be a part of something bigger than what I am. And it's always great to go out and do things with other people because I'm usually stuck in the house a lot, so I don't really get out a lot. So since I've joined this group, I've actually been doing a lot of stuff, so, and it's really good for me. Well, at FWA, when I didn't really know what to expect when I went and ate lunch at the Hard Rock, and you can just imagine me sitting at a table and here comes a group of furries coming into the Hard Rock and everybody's just like staring, gawking, like wanting to go up and give them hugs. It's just all around a lot of fun. And also the dancing, which is what I want to get into. They have dance competitions.
We like to party rock and we came to lose control.
Shake that.
Came to keep the party people dancing. I'm getting money, man, I really don't care. Let me see you put your hands in the air. I say get up.
When you look at what furries are doing, are they hurting anybody? No, they're not. You know, almost anything that goes on in the furry fandom, it's acts between, you know, 2 or more consensual adults that know what they're doing. Of course, you're going to have, you know, things that aren't supposed to happen. That'll go on just like in any fandom. You'll have, you know, bad people doing bad things. That'll happen no matter where you go to. But with furries, I would just simply say, live and let live, because, you know, we don't really choose what our interests are. We don't choose what kind of things draw us. We're not in control of that. So all we can do is that if we seem to be drawn to something as out there, if you will, as the furry fandom, well then why not just roll with it? Why not go with it? Is it hurting anybody? It's not. Is it causing any, you know, problems in society? No, it's really not. I mean, are video gamers causing problems in societies? Those are people that, you know, enjoy a hobby, that have a hobby that they really enjoy, meet up sometimes, go to conventions, compete with each other, and we don't think anything of it. Or even of people that are really, really into the anime fandom. We don't think really much of it. There's its sect of odd things that, you know, me personally, I don't get, I don't understand, I may never be able to, but you know what? It doesn't affect my life, so why should I worry about them? And I think if we could grow up a little bit, people that have the misunderstandings, the people that don't understand what it is, if they could grow up a little bit and just simply say, live and let live, I mean, that'd be the only real message that I want to get across, frankly.